Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. So this is episode 2. Yesterday, episode 1, I talked about how to break habits, because our brains always kind of want to go down the same pattern. I likened it to a cornfield, and we always want to go down the same path that's well trodden through a cornfield, okay? Path of least resistance, I guess. So today we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, because people are now, at the time of recording this anyway, getting back to work, kind of getting fed up of being back at work and wanting to break free. But a lot of the times what stops them is a limiting belief. Oh, I'm no good at marketing, I can't make this work, whatever it is. So I'm going to focus on the marketing angle, because this is Mind Hacks for Marketers after all. So I'm going to focus on, let's suppose you've got a limiting belief that says, I am not a great marketer. Okay, I'm just not a great marketer. And what we're going to do now, we're going to do something that will challenge that belief. And often by challenging it, maybe reframing it slightly, we can kind of break it in the subconscious brain, and we can change that pattern that the brain wants to go down all the time. So we're going to do this. We're going to ask some questions. So first of all, I'm not a great marketer. Okay. Is it true? Yes or no? You can only answer yes or no. There's no in between. Yes or no. Is it true that you're not a great marketer? So if you answer, it has to be 100%. Okay. Has to be 100%. So if you do answer 100%, yeah, I am a crap marketer, I'm not a good marketer, 100%, I'm not a good marketer, then let me ask you, how do you know 100% that is true? Okay, so you should, on the first question, have said, well, it's not like 100% because I can put stuff out on Facebook, I can send an email, I can do something. But if you did answer 100% yes, then justify that. You've got to go through a thought process in your brain to deconstruct that belief, to say, well, is it really 100%? How can it be 100%? Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to connect it with how we feel. Okay. So we ask, how do we feel when I believe this? So how do I feel when I believe I'm not a great marketer? So we've already challenged it, and now we're saying, how do I feel? You get in touch with that. And hopefully it doesn't feel great, okay? Because if it's something you want to do, if you're doing something else and marketing isn't your bag, then it's fine. But if I'm assuming it's something you want to do, and then you get in touch, how do I feel? Let's move this out of the way. How do you feel when you believe it? Okay. And then you ask, so what would I lose? What would I be? Okay, what would I be without that? If I lost that limiting belief, what happens when I lose it? Who would I be without that limiting belief? How would I feel then? You think about the person you would be if you were a great marketer, if the opposite were true. So if I lose that limiting belief that I've got in touch with and know how I feel about it, then I get in touch with, okay, who would I be without this limiting belief? And you really feel that. And again, what we're doing is we're getting the cogs turning, okay? Because the belief goes down this well-trodden path, and what we're doing now is we're actually challenging it. We're looking at different routes. We're looking at different options. So now we've said, is it true, yes or no? And if you said it was, we've really challenged it. Like, is it 100%? We've got in touch with what it feels like to believe it. We've got in touch with what it would be like if it weren't true. We turn it into a positive. So I am not a great marketer becomes I am a great marketer. So now we say, okay, I am a great marketer. And then what we need to do is we need to put at least three, you might come up with more, but at least 3 supporting pieces of evidence to prove that. Okay? Because a belief is like a tabletop, and it's just a thought. Okay? So it's like a tabletop, and we give it evidence, supporting evidence, which are the legs under the table. That was bound to happen, I was expecting a call. So we know that the more supporting evidence we put under the table, the sturdier the table is. So we're going to start with just 3. I am a great marketer, and you're going to find 3 things that support it. Now, if you're struggling, hopefully you're going to come up with your own, but if you're struggling, can you ride a bike? So there was a time when you couldn't ride a bike, and then there was a time you could. Do you drive? There was a time when you didn't drive a car, but now there is. You learnt. Can you play a musical instrument? There was a time when you couldn't, you can now. So there was a time when you learnt. So One, okay, well, maybe I am a great marketer, I just haven't learnt the right thing yet. So, you know, I'm teachable, I can learn. I can post on Facebook, I can send an email. I can take somebody's marketing message and I can reprogram it as my own, I can reword it. I can destruct it, I understand why it works, I understand what they're doing. So I can make my own version of it, not copy it, model it, not rip it off. So maybe you could do that, okay? Do you see where I'm going with this? And often when you start to break through and go, do you know what, I can't think of anything that says I'm a great marketer. As you go through, you actually find that, well, actually, you know, you might end up with 10, okay? And it doesn't matter if they seem a bit tenuous at the start, because your brain, you're asking better questions. How can, you know, how do I know this is true? Rather than I'm not a great marketer, and your brain will go and look for evidence to support that. By saying I'm a great marketer, your brain goes to look for evidence to support that. Your brain will always try and support you guys. It will always do what it thinks you want it to do, what it thinks it wants you to do, okay? So I hope that helps if you've got a limiting belief, okay? And in NLP, I've got a way of uncovering subconscious beliefs and another way of working on them. And we can, well, there's actually about 3 different ways of working on them. But this is a great way to challenge limiting belief and get your brain working differently. Hope it's useful to you. If you found it useful, please like and share. Please get the message out. There's nothing to buy. There's no link, so you can share it totally, you know, without thinking I'm trying to get anything from you. There's no cost. So hopefully if you got value, you leave a comment, let me know what you think. You'll like it and share it. For those of you that do, remember to do that all the time. I appreciate you greatly, and I will see you probably tomorrow for episode 3. Cheers guys.